in the Upper East region, Sky FM in the Bono region. In London, it's on ABN Radio and worldwide on myjawline.com. Up in this edition, Ghana Health Service concerned about pockets of opposition by some communities to the siting of isolation centers.
Having the isolation centers in the various communities actually protects the individuals, the families, and the community as a whole, so that immediately we identify a positive case, we isolate the person.
We have more for you. Also, Ghana currently manufacturing high-standard face masks comparable to the N95.
And in business, the country's total debt stock goes up significantly by 18 billion cedis for first quarter to hit 236 billion cedis. Details in 15 minutes.
And family of a 27-year-old father accused of torturing his own son to receive psychiatric assistance as he pleads not guilty to charges of assault and causing harm.
We will be talking to him, and then you see a doctor, and then you allow the doctor to see what we can do and what we should do. And we make sure that he stays away from the lady and then the child.
We'll bring you details from the court today. Let's settle for the details of our stories on the 15th day of May 2020. With me, Komla Adom. The Ghana Health Service says it is concerned about pockets of opposition by communities to the siting of isolation centers. Some communities in parts of the Central and Ashanti regions have rejected the use of some facilities for isolating COVID-19 patients, with many worried the use of such facilities will lead to spread of infection. My chairman of the National Risk Communications and Social Mobilization Committee for COVID-19, who is also Director for Health Promotion at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dacosta Boaje, who's been speaking exclusively to Joy News, says isolation facilities rather help to reduce spread of the virus if sited in communities.
Some Ghanaians are resisting isolation centers in their various communities. Now, let me take this opportunity to call on our celebrities, our traditional leaders, to actually help us to educate the communities in understanding that having the isolation centers in the various communities actually protects the individuals, the families, and the community as a whole, so that immediately we identify a positive case, we isolate the person and give the person treatment. But it will need education. Public education and community engagement is a collective effort.
You heard the chairman of the National Risk Communications and Social Mobilization Committee for COVID-19, Dr. Dacosta Boaje. Meanwhile, the Ghana Health Service has announced what it says is an appropriate response plan to deal with surging COVID-19 cases in Obuasi. The service dispatched a team of experts to the Ashanti regional mining town of Obuasi, which has recorded about 80% out of the 726 COVID-19 cases in the Ashanti region. The team, led by the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, is tasked with assessing and drawing an appropriate response plan to tackle the increasing cases of COVID-19 there. Here is the Director General of the Health Service, Dr. Patrick Abuaji.
We are here to work with a team in the district to look at, first assess the situation and then help them draft an appropriate response, which they are already doing. So we met opinion leaders, we met the MCE, and we met the health team, and we have finished our plan and see how we can quickly control the situation in Obuasi.
You heard the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Abuaje. The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, says some of the face masks being manufactured in Ghana are of the highest quality and provide protection comparable to the internationally acclaimed N95 masks. Some Ghanaians have cast doubt about the quality of Ghana-made masks and in some instances refused to use them. But the FDA Chief Executive, Delise Mimidako, who's been speaking to Joy News about the quality of masks on the Ghanaian market, says the FDA-certified masks are of the highest quality.
The N95, comparable N95 nose mask, so some of what we developed for the Ministry of Trade for it to be manufactured for the Ministry of Health. So there are several companies that are manufacturing this under the directive that the Ministry of Trade and Ministry of Health. I can't give you all the names. If I mention some and don't mention others, it will be unfair. We are aware of the group of garment makers, or that's the Ministry of Trade, got to manufacture masks. Some of those masks are N95 quality. If you wear a good mask and a mask that has been made properly, you can wear it for the number of hours and you can still breathe. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. The mask should have 3 layers. So you have the outer layer that you want. You have an inner layer. We normally require maybe a medium stiffener, fabric stiffener. And then the inside is the plain material, because some of the fabric have dyes. And you don't want to be inhaling the fumes of a dye all the time. That's why we insist that the mask should have a plain inner layer.
You heard the Chief Executive of the Food and Drugs Authority, Delise Mimi Dako. Let's step away from COVID-related stories briefly. And relatives of a young man who whipped his 3-year-old son for wetting his bed in Kumasi say they will seek psychiatric intervention. Ebenezer Osei-Bonsu's uncle, Jerry Franklin, reveals his nephew has been talking to himself and acting strangely, for which he needs examination. A Kumasi Circuit Court presided over by Her Honor Patricia Mponsa granted the accused bail, citing the coronavirus pandemic as reason for not remanding him. The accused allegedly whipped his 3-year-old son with a belt and cable wire, leading to his hospitalization. Erastus Saridonko was in court.
News of the abuse and pictures of Junior's injuries generated public outcry. Ebenezer Osei-Bonsu pleaded not guilty to charges of assault and causing harm. Prosecution, led by Inspector Regina Oparebia Mwako, objected to the application, saying the child and his mother's life would be threatened. The court, however, cited the coronavirus pandemic as a factor to grant bail in the sum of 50,000 cedis with 3 sureties to be justified.
Inside the car.
Mother of the 3-year-old abuse victim was unhappy about the decision. Her brother spoke to Love News.
Family
and lawyer for the accused are already talking psychiatric evaluation for him. Here is Uncle Mr. Franklin and Counsel Mr. Amufa Kudia.
It's also an opportunity for us to find a doctor to evaluate him psychologically and see what really happened.
Police question statement, they said he admitted it. Once in the dock, he pleaded not guilty. To me, he needs psychiatric examination.
Trial is expected to resume on the 21st of this month.
Erastus Saridonko there. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party has charged management of a National Identification Authority, NIA, to make public its coronavirus risk mitigation strategy as it plans to register Ghanaians for the Ghana card in the wake of a virus. The NPP's comment come on the back of allegations that the NIA and the Electoral Commission are scheming to rig the elections for the governing New Patriotic Party. Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, argued the EC's quest to compile a new register with the Ghana card and the passport is only an attempt to suppress voters in their strongholds. The NDC says they will resist any attempt by the EC to do this.
NDC shall employ every legitimate means to stop this evil conspiracy to rig the 2020 election and subvert the democracy of this country. We say, Aluta continua. This struggle is a struggle we are prepared to wage to ensure that the tenets of good governance, rule of law, and transparency in our electoral process are adhered to and upheld at all costs.
You heard the chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. President Akufo-Addo is expected to cut sword for the construction of the abandoned mother and baby unit at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital today. And this follows Seth Kwame Boateng's expose, which revealed that babies were dying in droves in that particular facility. Seth joins us on the phone. Hello, Seth.
Hello, good morning. Okay, so this morning the president and Santegme will be at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital to cut short for work to commence on the now 47-year-old abandoned project. And speaking to doctors and people here in Kumasi, this is a big deal for them because of its importance to healthcare in Ghana. You know, it became a very big issue when we did the Next Day documentary because of the congestion that was at the Konfanochi Hospital, leading to about 4 deaths involving babies and mothers almost every day. So this facility is supposed to ease the congestion, and people are happy that after 37 years, now work is about starting on the project. I understand contractors have told the government that it will take them about 3 years, but the health ministry was looking at ways they could finish before the 3 years so that people can start using the facility. So it's a big deal and very important for people here in Ashanti region and beyond.
Thank you very much, Seth Kwame Boateng. Some good news there. But before we go, driving to and from work on Fridays has been found to require extra caution. Safety experts believe driver inattention is the reason for the higher incidence of accidents on the last day of a typical work day or a typical work week. So resolve today to drive undistracted, obey the road signals, and make room for the irresponsibility of other drivers. That's how you arrive alive. I leave you with the Health Minister's advice to the Ghanaian public in this period of COVID-19. Thank you for joining us.
You see, God wants us not to do certain things. When you have this mask, you can't drink. Can you? So God wants to tell us that don't go and sit somewhere in the middle of the seat and drink beer. and drink alcohol. So if you have the mask, then God will be comfortable with you. Any one of us who want to contract the disease and wants to die voluntarily, the rest of us don't want to